Hello, everyone. This is Mr. George, online coach, IELTS Resource Center. Welcome to another session of reading strategy in IELTS. Today, we are going to learn some cool strategies to help you understand what you read when it comes to the IELTS exam. Most candidates find it difficult or boring, especially when it comes to the academic context. Reading three passages to answer the question on them within the space of 40 minutes. So most candidates is challenging for them. To others, it may be easy for them. Maybe this may be due to your level of vocabulary. Sometimes you find the passages uninteresting. Sometimes you find them boring. And it will also be difficult for you to navigate through the text to get the correct answer. In this session, we're going to take a look at those strategies that will be easy for you. You apply them when it comes to the reading context. And I promise you will do well. All right, let's proceed. Okay, whether you are getting ready for a test like the IELTS or just want to be a better reader, these tips will guide you. Think of them as tools to help you find your way through any story or text. Right. Now, the first thing we need to take a look at is guessing. That is predicting. Yes. What do we mean by when we talk about predicting in IELTS reading? It means guessing what happens next. Now, have you ever guessed what might happen next in a story? That is predicting. It's like using clues from the story and what you already know to make a good guess. Imagine you are reading a mystery. Every detail helps you figure out what could happen next. So that means predicting keeps you excited, involved in the story. Now, let's take a look at this. Now, how do you predict? You predict when you use clues the author provides in the text. That will give you enough information to back your prediction. Secondly, when you use what you know from personal experience or knowledge to predict what might happen. So when you read through a text, the text is like coming up with stories within your mind, and that will help you when it comes to prediction in the reading text. The next thing we are going to take a look at is connection. Connecting, it means relating the story to your life. Now, reading becomes more interesting when you connect the story to your own life. Maybe a character in the book reminds you of someone you know, or something in the story reminds you of an experience you've had. So, making this connection helps you understand the story better and makes it feel more real. Now, make connection to the world, your life, and experiences. That means it means this strategy makes reading personal and relatable. It helps you find meaning and relevance in what you read and strengthens your understanding. When you read the text, there should be a connection between you and the text. So you don't just read. In that way, you are going to read and read for meaning. That's what I mean. Now, when you use what you know about yourself, other stories, and the world to relate to the text, it becomes more easy for you to understand. So that is what we mean by connection. You don't just read because you want to read, you read because you read to understand, you read for meaning. And when you read for meaning, there should be that level of connection between you and the text. It it doesn't just end there. When you read, you need to read to identify main ideas. Main ideas here means identify or finding the big points. Every story has a main idea. The most important thing the author wants you to know, that is main. So when you read through a story, there is a theme for that story. There is a main idea for that story. So finding the main idea is like finding the core message in the story. think about the story. Maybe you need to think about what the story is mostly about and what the key points are. This helps you understand what the story is really talking about. Now, in every story we come across, what gives us the main idea is the topic sentence of that story. A topic sentence carries the main point of what the story is trying to pass across. That's like in reading the mind of the author, reading the mind of the reader. Now, how do we come about this? How do we go about the situation? So the main idea is like the big story or the big picture. So first, you need to look for the most important information in the story. And to be able to do that, you need to get hold of the topic sentence. Now, you need to ask yourself, what is the story mostly about? That is it. Because when you're able to do that, you should be able to notice that direction of the story. Secondly, you need to find key points that tells you what happened in the story. Then you also need to pay attention to the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. Then you think about the characters, the settings, and the event. All this will give you clue on the main idea of the story. That is identify your main idea. So when you go through the text, paragraph one, paragraph two, paragraph three, you should be able to find the main idea of that text. And not just that, you will go ahead to inference. Now, what do we mean by inference? It means figuring out hidden meanings within a story. So inference is like being a detective while you read. Sometimes the author doesn't tell you everything directly. Take note of that. So you have to figure it out using clues from the text. Now, let's take for example, if a character is described as frowning, you might guess they are unhappy. I think yes. So inference helps you understand deeper meaning in the story. So that is why when we say you need to skim, you need to scan and do close reading. When you do close reading, you're not just reading, you're not just doing close reading. You are going to read for meaning. So inference help you in this regard. When you make an inference, you use clues from the story and what you already know to figure it out. Things that the author doesn't directly say. It's like putting puzzle pieces together to understand what's happening or how a character feels. That's what I mean by inference. So this is going to help you also to make the reading more exciting, to make the reading more interesting, rather than being boring when it comes to I kind of exam. Then we improve also to evaluation. How do one evaluate? When you read a text, what role does it play when it comes to evaluating that text? Now, what do you mean by evaluation? It means deciding what you think about the story. Evaluating means thinking about what you liked or didn't like in the story and why. Ask yourself questions like, why did the character do that? Or would I have done the same? Is it about forming your own opinions as you read? This is you are trying to evaluate the story. You're trying to think about the story from your own perspective as a whole. So think about what you like or didn't like in the story from your own opinion and judgment about the characters, plot or themes, and others. So when you bring the text, a whole text to your own judgment, you should be able to know what that text is all about. Now, we also go to visualize. I think this is where most candidates didn't really get it right when it comes to the listening part of the text in IELTS. Visualizing means imagining the story in your mind, placing yourself within the picture in the story as the story plays. It's just like watching a football. You are the one watching those who are playing on the field. But the moment a goal is about to be scored, there is a way you position your leg. There is a way you want, as if maybe you are the one wanting to score the goal. So visualize is like turning the words you read into a movie in your head. As you read, picture the characters. Try to take a look at the settings and event as if they were real. This helps you understand the story better and makes reading more fun. Put yourself inside the story. See yourself as a part of the character in the story. It makes it more interesting. So as you read, use the author's words to create a vivid image of the character settings and event. So you need to close your eyes and imagine the scene playing out before you. This not only makes reading more enjoyable, but also strengthens your understanding by engaging your imagination. So let's go ahead, right? We move over to clarify. Now, clarifying means it's like you trying to clear the fog. Have you ever read something and thought, wait, what does that mean? That is where clarifying comes in. When you clarify, you stop to make sure you understand the text. When you clarify, you start to make sure you understand the text. It might involve rereading, looking up for a word, or asking for help. Now, think of it as wiping away the fog on a window to get a clear view of what is outside. That is what clarifying is all about. In this way, one need to reread slowly, look at the pictures, use the dictionary. I think this can play outside the exam text, the exam situation. That means you need to just do this on your own at home, practice on your own at home, but not within the exam situation, because within the exam situation, you know you are being timed, so you need to work with the time given to you. So, but trying to develop yourself when it comes to the reading and understanding, I think also this will be of a great help to you. Right? We go ahead. And the next we need to look at also, we need to look at the question. Questioning when it comes to reading. Questioning means like you trying to stay curious. Questioning is about being curious about as you read. Ask yourself questions like, why did this happen? Or what is going to happen next? This keeps your mind engaged and it helps you dig deeper into the story. So, question during reading is will also help you to understand what this passage is all about, like self-questioning, questioning the text, questioning the author. This will help you to know the direction of the text and what that text is all about. So you don't just read because you want to read, you read for meaning. So questioning is a part of it. These strategies will help you develop yourself when it comes to reading and exam situation. So by the time you'll be able to develop yourself, I believe you're gonna do well. Right, let's summarize what we've said so far. Summarize. You need to summarize the passage, getting to the main point. I think also this also will help you when it comes to summary completion in this kind of reading. So summarizing is about picking out the most important part of the story and putting them into your own words. It's like giving a quick summary to someone who hasn't read it. Okay, yes, who hasn't read it, but so they understand the main ideas without all details. When it comes to summary completion kind of question in reading text in Ielts, a particular portion of the text is being extracted, and some keywords will be removed for you to fill in those points. Your ability to summarize that text, know the mind of the author, you'll be able to do well when it comes to such contexts. So I think this also will help you when it comes to summary completion in IELTS reading. So summarizing is like giving a quick recap of the most important part of the story. It helps you remember the main idea and keep track of key events. Summarizing is a superpower that keeps you focused and help you grasp the bigger picture. So read the whole story or passage, pick out the most important part of it, use your own words to retell those important parts, focus on the main ideas and key events, and keep it short and sweet. All right, everyone, this is where we come to the end of this session of the strategies when it comes to the IELTS reading. These strategies are enough to for you to be able to do well when it comes to the listening and the reading part of the text. It builds your reading ability. It makes you see the reading part of the text as very, very interesting and not boring. Because why people find it boring is because of their limited level of vocabulary and lack of strategies to approach the reading part of the text. So, with these strategies, I believe you are going to do well. Right, I remain Mr. George, online coach at your Resource Center. Subscribe, like, and share our channel. Thank you. We also offer online classes. We have the personal class, we have the group class. So packages ranges from 3 weeks, 6 weeks package, 2 months package, 3 months package. Subscribe to get a detailed and effective lecture on as you prepare for your health journey. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.